Yes, episode number 26, but I'm stuck on the title. So I don't know if I should title this Habits Lead to the Harvest or The Construction Toilet. So I'm going to end up with the construction toilet story. That's where we're headed, Rob.
Okay.
So Rob's back in the studio here at Revocation Radio with me. Hey, John, you guys said, now I know you don't have the microphone on you, because the whole time we've been talking, Rob, so you're listening, we're recording two of these back to back, like we're kind of batching it. And the whole time you're telling your stories in the previous one about, hey, I thought like clean time was just drinking. I didn't know that. Like cocaine was, that was a foul ball. Yeah. Like, man, I got to turn the chip back in or go get. No, this is a big deal. Like you could see John over here just shaking his head, going, "What in the world?" Or the other stories. And then you went to the restroom. I told him, it's like, no. Like that was actually a pretty tame version of all of it. It's like,
Yeah.
What? Oh man. Okay. Back with Rob. In this one, I really want to dialogue. We're kind of into the new year. And 2 episodes ago, in 24, I was talking about really habits and doing the daily work and moving forward. And I gave you this example of Rob's business plan. We are not going to rehearse it. Rob's the guy that wanted to make $1 million. And so we had to kind of back up and go, okay, well, what do you need to do that? And how many do we need to sell? And where do we get the leads to do it? And we made this distinction between the lag measures, which is really the goal. That's the fruit. And the lead measures, which is the daily grind of the work you do. In fact, you might even say those are the habits. And then the lag measures would be the harvest.
Okay.
So the lead measures are the habits. Lag measures are the harvest. The lead measures, the daily work you do. And then the lag measures would be, oh man, that's the goal when you celebrate. That's when you cross the finish line. So I thought, man, let me just yank him in here to the studio and let's just talk a little bit about his story and maybe add a personal layer to that, because sometimes it's easier to see in someone else, even if the story's different, really what you need to see for yourself in your own situation. So to be clear, we're going to dialogue about the process a little bit that he uses to flip houses and to train, coach others to flip houses. Links are all down in the show notes for that. So go take a look there if any of this sounds even remotely interesting. He's got a mini course that you can access for like what, $27 or something.
$27.
And even see, or you can sign up for a live webinar training. All the links are down there. So I want to dialogue about his process, but here's where it's going to go. 2 things to listen for. For process to work and move you forward, you need, and again, the process is going to include those lead measures of the daily work you do, the habits. The process is going to take us to the harvest, the lag measures. Okay, so it needs 2 things. Number 1, it needs a perspective. Usually that's going to be a shift. You're going to have to see some things differently. And then number 2, you're going to have to persist. And I'm even going to say it's going to be a patient persistence, not this unhealthy, ragged hustle. All right. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. So Rob, let's talk about this. Let's talk about houses, and that's the pivot to, let's talk about the maximum allowable offer.
The MAO. I love it.
Yeah.
This is my life.
The maximum allowable offer.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's the total amount of money that I can offer someone and still make a profit and still pay everything. Like to still pay everything and then still make a profit.
Okay, so the maximum allowable offer is
The formula,
the
right?
max that you are allowed to offer.
Yeah, we've made a formula that
sounded like that just sounded like, not to get political, but the way I said that sounded like the definition when people go, "What is a woman?" Well, a woman's a woman is a woman.
Yeah.
The maximum allowable offer is the maximum allowable offer.
Yeah.
That's the most you.
So like, I had a phone call this morning.
Yeah.
Like I made a post this morning that said, "Hey, I'm out buying houses this afternoon, and I'm buying houses tomorrow. Send me what you got." And I had several people respond to me, but I had a phone call. This lady called, and she said, hey, I've got this house, and she starts rattling it off. It's in this neighborhood, and it's listed for $179,000.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, okay, in that neighborhood, I can only sell that for $220,000.
Okay.
So I already know it's way higher than my maximum allowable offer because I can run those numbers in my head, right? So I had to walk her through it. Like, she almost took offense to it. And I was like, it's just too high. I can't do it. And she's like, so I explained it to her. I said, we work off a maximum allowable offer formula, and this is how it works. I take the ARV, or the after repair value, and I multiply.
That's what you're going to sell it for.
That's what I'm going to sell it for.
So you take
completely finished. That's what the new cabinets, the floors, that's what an appraiser's going to give you for a beautiful, ready to move in home with everything done. After repair value.
The sale price.
Yeah, the sale price. Okay. So I take that number and I multiply that by 0.70 and I subtract renovation costs. Okay. So I already know that $220,000 is the max I can sell that if it's dulled all the way out. So you take $220,000 times 0.70, it comes to like $150 something. That's less than what they're asking, and that doesn't include the renovation, right? So I started to explain that to her, and she calmed down a little bit. She's like, oh, I understand. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to walk you through this. Like, for me to be able to help real estate agents understand that, I can spend that time and help them understand that, like over coffee or whatever, so that they can bring me deals.
Hey, I'm going to put a link down to the max. I know we got a video, and I'm going to put a link down to that in the show notes down below.
Yeah, there's a longer version that we used to use where we subtract out commission and subtract out all the stuff. But if you do the 0.70, it's going to come very, very close. And
okay.
Because about 16% of that is your holding costs and your insurance and your taxes while you're holding it, and your lights and your crapper, all that stuff.
The crapper?
The crapper.
So one of the things that I noticed in the maximum allowable offer, because I got to teach this whole process live with you, is that in that you actually build in how much profit do people want to make off that house.
Yeah.
Or you're going to walk. And it's really interesting because and this is what I think we're getting at. So I know you're listening right now and you're probably thinking, well, I'm not flipping houses. How does this apply to me? It's a perspective shift. And it's a contrarian way of looking at things, because most people that I know, I've thought this before. When I was going to flip a house, when I did flip a house, I thought, oh, I'm going to go get this house. I'm going to fix it up really nice, and I'm going to make a dump truck load of money.
A dump truck of money.
Yeah.
Burn, burn, burn.
Yeah, I mean, that rarely works. It's, in fact, in the training, you say it like this: the first closing when you acquire the house
is where you make the money. That's a secret, so I whispered it.
Yeah, it's a secret. I don't know if that came through loud enough. The first closing when you acquire it is more important than the second closing, which is what we're so focused on and get enamored with if you're going to flip houses.
It's the first one's the most important. It's where you're going to make your money.
That's the contrary. And so it's the perspective shift. Okay, so why are we mentioning that? It's because, again, back to the title, the habits lead to the harvest. First thing on the habit, you got to have a perspective shift of how you're even looking at this thing. Why do you need that? It's because you don't want to automate the wrong thing. You don't want to build a system around something that's not going to take you where you want to go. Like, it's just a lot of wasted energy. Let me give you an example. Years ago, I've talked about the story before. I was festively plump. Man, I was fat. I could put away some. Are we even allowed politically correctly to say fat?
I don't know. You took me off guard by saying festively plump.
That was festively
pretty
plump.
Good way to describe that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was fat, not PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. I mean, like,
you were fat.
Yeah, I was festively plump. I was like, give me a Santa Claus suit. I don't even need to stuff it. I just need the white beard.
Yeah.
Oh, and now I don't even need that. Like, okay. So I learned very quickly, and this was the perspective shift, that it wasn't just the amount of calories I was burning, the exercising, the running, the lifting weights. I mean, when I was festively plump, I could go bang out 7 or 8 mile run. So that wasn't it. The bigger issue was, how many calories am I taking in, and what kind of calories? And that was back in the day. I was working with you at the Village, and I was drinking 2 white chocolate mochas from Starbucks per day with caramel syrup added to them with caramel drizzle on top of the whipped cream that was added to it. It was 720 calories per drink twice a day. And every time I got one in the morning, one in the afternoon, I had a pecking order of treats. So it would be an apple fritter. And if they didn't have that, it was the old-fashioned donut. That was number 2. And if they didn't have that, I'd go to the cheese Danish like you had for breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. I was not fatter or you see. So I learned perspective shift. Man, you could never outrun that bad of a diet.
That's right.
The perspective shift is it's not just what I'm burning off, it's what's going in and what kind. Maybe another perspective shift was years ago trying to climb out of debt. I thought initially I just needed more income, need to make more money. Now that always helps, but the bigger issue is not what's coming in. In this instance, the bigger issue is what's going out. That's what you have more control over. It's managing the spending, and you have a lot more flexibility over that than you might have had. And it's easier to cut things than it is to go acquire things.
Agreed.
In that lane.
Yeah, just had that conversation with my wife 2 days ago.
Oh, because you guys were doing...
We were doing our whole plan for 2026.
No, tell me about that, because this is the perfect time to do perspective shifts.
Yeah. So her main thing was that when we were talking about money, like we had that conversation, we need to bring more in, and she said, why don't we stop buying the way we're buying in 2026? Let's completely change the way we purchase things.
Oh,
what a great perspective that was, because I mean, I love Nikes. I love Adidas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's going to be a whole different change there. But yeah, we got into this we planned out our entire year. And we started with our vacations first, which everybody hops into, what I'm going to do for work, how much money I'm going to make, blah, 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 and start dividing that down per month. And we did something different the last 2 years, last year and this year, and we went ahead and put our vacations
calendared rest first.
And it's non-negotiable. We put the 2 big vacations that we're going to take together, and then we did some quarterly getaways that we're going to do, whether that's a weekend or just an overnight trip, but it's away from Birmingham where we live. And then we did our date nights, and we put those on there first. And that way,
man, how often do y'all do date night?
We used to do it weekly, and we got away from that. Business has just absolutely trucked us, but we talked about the importance of getting back onto weekly date nights.
Yeah.
She thinks that we ought to just do 1 a month, and then if we can do more, like we're going to calendar 1 a month instead of 1 a week.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're doing all the other trips too.
Yeah.
So like when you start adding all that up, and I know, like, okay, so I mean that's great because people go, well, I can't do it every week. I'm not doing it. You go, well, hey, 1 a month.
Once a month.
Plus all these trips.
Plus the quarterly getaways.
Yeah, it's like
plus the vacations.
You start adding that, like do what you can do.
Now, we also agreed when we were doing this is our business plan, but this all has to go first. We agreed that there will be no business talk on the quarterly getaways. There will be no business talk on the vacations. None. And our business consumes us. We have several high-level businesses that are going.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all we talk about. And so we want to get back to, we got to figure out what we want to get back to be honest, because it's been work. And so we thought it was super important to put all that stuff for us first. And I'm excited about this year.
Yeah, you just figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I bet there'll be stuff that unlocks that y'all had no idea about.
We even discussed what are we going to do when it gets awkward? Like, okay, we no work, and then it's this uncomfortable silence. Oh, what are we going to do? Like,
you just have sex. You're married.
Yeah. I mean, that's good for that. That would be good for me. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're married.
Go, hey, well, it's
No, so we've even talked about what is that going to look like? Like work consumes us. So we thought it was super important to do that. But then we started just with the real estate company, and then very similar to what we did with our personal time, we decided to put all the outreach that we want to do from our company first. We put it first. We calendared all this stuff.
That's the go-giver.
That's the go-giver. We're going to give back to the community a lot this year. We're going to really have to get our agents behind us, like the head coach speech, and just get them excited about what we want to do. But we're going to give back to our community a lot, and we calendared all that before we start talking about numbers.
Oh, okay. So you're listening in. Like this is all we're talking about habits that lead to the harvest, and notice like what we're doing right now. You're getting a big perspective shift first, not just jumping straight to the production.
Yeah.
I could preach this in a Baptist church because I've got all these P's. Yeah, production, perspective.
So
anyway,
I'll tell you something else. So our businesses have taken us out of church, like removed us from church, if that's the best way to say it. And we put a non-negotiable that we will be in church 2026. Like we went to church maybe 3 or 4 times, and I don't think that going to church is a magic button for anything, but as well as I do, being around other people that think similar, you know what I mean? And having the corporate worship, I miss that so much.
When you start interacting with people that you go, oh, hey, let's get in a small group. Oh, hey, let's go to lunch. Oh, hey, let's
100%.
Yeah, that's part of the bigger is the relational
that's
side.
another non-negotiable. We put all that stuff on the calendar first, and it filled up. Man, it filled up. And so we're like, okay, now we've got to figure out how to place our business stuff in like a bingo card. Bing, 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 bing. It's like not fitting every single hour of every single day.
It'll probably be more productive, though, because when you get in, you'll be focused, and it'll be like, boom, we're on, in it, and then out.
Yeah. So because of that, it gave us the freedom to say, now this is a full year out, but in 2027, we're going to take like 34 days off and go to Ireland, and we're not going to do work.
In what year?
It's the following year, so it'll be
2027.
Yep. It gave us the freedom, though, to even have that discussion, because right now,
oh man, I want to go to
Ireland. If I
Ireland.
was to say that,
I don't want to go with y'all,
let's
but
take 30-something days off, it'll absolutely stroke my wife out, right? Like she's so worried about it. But planning all this stuff opened up the conversation to this can happen.
Yeah, you got 400 or 500 days of runway to that.
Yeah, yeah. And the deal is also, like, I'll let it in like this. Hey, what it'll do is it will open up, it'll expose the cracks in the business. We're going, and we're not going to work when we're out. We might work 2 or 3 hours a day, depending on how the time change is, early. But it's going to expose cracks, and it'll help us build our business better.
Right,
Like,
you'll have
it's
to
not
build
like we're
it
just,
so
we're
you
off.
can leave. Yeah, you're going to have somebody that's managed. Yeah.
We can set up some processes so that we can actually step all the way out of the business and travel.
Oh.
Bam, you see what I mean? So like that's the kind of stuff we were planning. Our business plan was a lot of stuff like that this year.
Man, okay, that's good. Okay, so what we're grabbing into right here is perspective shift. Again, you don't want to automate the wrong thing, so you've got to look at things correctly, and that often means, hey, you're getting results right now completely in line with what you think and what you do. And so it might just be, hey, you know what? I'm going to step back out of this, and I'm going to look at it a little bit differently, just like the house flip, just like, the festively plump Starbucks drinking guy, just like all the other things. All right, point number 2. Point number 2 also starts with a P. I told you we could alliterate this and we could go preach it at a Baptist church. You guys going to go back to a Baptist church? I don't know. That was just a setup to tie it in. That was a little bit of like communication fashion right there, John. Like, how you guys kind of lead stuff, and then let it link together.
Would you like to come to my Baptist church?
That's all it was. I don't have a... Okay, so here we go. Number 2, persistence. So you've got to step in. And I would even say it again like this with patient persistence. Like once you identify the activities that are going to get you there, you've got to step in it. And you can't do it in this unhealthy, run yourself ragged hustle. I think notorious for that because I tend to be the guy. A couple of years ago, I was bumping into guys that were trying to write a book, and they would take a year and a half and never get it done. And I'm like, if you could do it in a year and a half, why couldn't you do it in a year? If you could do it in a year, why couldn't you do it in a month? If you could do it in a month, why couldn't you just sit down and grind it out in a week?
I mean, you've built processes around writing a book.
Yeah, true. But at some point you go, oh, the book that's about to come out is, I mean, literally within, as of the airing of this, we'll be doing the workshop. I'll put a link down to it in the show notes, the GY6 workshop. That book's about to roll out. And it's been sitting on the shelf for about a year and a half. But the whole time it's sat, it's not just sat passively. It sat actively. Like I've grabbed it, I've tinkered with it, I've worked on it. I thought I was going to launch it with a different organization over a year ago. That did not work out. And then I picked it up, and then I had to run the timeline again and then get more people involved. And
You think there was a bit of that, though, that stretched because that's what you do. You write books for other people, too, right? And so, like,
Yeah,
you're
I
busy
do.
doing this other stuff. Like, it's me. I'm a contractor. And when I'm busy doing all this other contracting work, sometimes
You're not
there's a
doing
hole in the wall in my
your-
living room.
Yeah.
It's undone.
Well, I mean, I could have launched it last fall, and I could have launched it the fall before that. And so I mean, just to peg it, because I know we're kind of rolling into a new year. So it's 2026 now. I could have launched it fall of 2025. There was a version of it that was good to go in fall 2024, which is when I thought I would originally launch it. But I think as you start seeing, we're rolling this one out different through some workshops and through some other networks of people, and rolling it through some churches and municipalities and veteran service organizations. I think just stepping back, going back to that perspective shift and looking at, hey, can we do this one differently? Mm-hmm. This is a unique tool. How can we do it differently? Okay, what's the patient persistence of walking it out for the long haul? Like just like you guys did with, you launched a book, but then you're talking about, let's relaunch it.
Yeah.
Let's run the long game. There are people that don't know about this. And so let's look at it a little bit different. I think what I'm getting at is you need systems to do all of this. And you need, like you've already referenced that, a system or a process. It's simply a bridge to move things from where they are to where you want them to be. And it's repeatable and it's predictable. So it works. Now, automating it in a system doesn't mean instant. It just means it's predictable, and it will get there at pace, and it will get there in a way that you can manage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. Shannon and I, when we say persistent going after something, we do some of the most boring things over and over and over. And we coach people on doing
That is it.
every single day. And we have a shirt that says ESD for every single day.
Is it a black shirt with the
Yeah,
white,
it's black shirt with white letters, yeah.
like the committed shirt right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, let's go back, because I think we're getting at it that, to move forward, you've got to have some processes, and that includes, again, those two things. Number one, you got to have a perspective shift.
So I think people want what they see other people have already accomplished, right? And they don't realize the perspective shift is you don't just go get that. You have to go in way back over here and work on the boring stuff over and over and over.
Well, that's the patient persistence.
Yeah.
That's the. I want you to tell a story about that maybe ties this together, because I think people can make the leap when they're hearing your stories on this. Let's dialogue about the construction toilet, because I think one of the perspective shifts for you were early on trying to flip houses.
Mm-hmm.
Is the first one that you flipped, was that the one that we sold you, or
Yes.
was it a?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you
Got it from the ministry.
Yeah, I remember when you were leaving the ministry, and we were helping people coming off drugs, off the streets, out of prison. And I remember you had helped all these guys learn construction, and you over time, like, it wasn't an instant, like, hey, I'm leaving. It was, hey, man, I'm really thinking about. And then like, well, if you go, man, like, take the tools and everything, because we're not going to run a construction company. And you guys did, and then kept hiring some of the guys. You learned really quickly, because you bought a $4,000 house.
Yeah. My wife calls it a $4,000 piece of crap.
It
house.
was. I had no idea how crappy it was. Somebody gave it to us.
Yeah.
So we were happy for the $4,000 to run into ministry.
Yeah.
Y'all were tearing out parts of the house, and
It was pretty crazy.
Didn't it fall apart?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was dark in the house, and we were like, hey, pull those blinds down so we can see. And somebody rips these blinds down, and the exterior wall towards the driveway just fell out into the grass.
Oh, that was not anticipated. You pull the blind and the wall fall.
Yeah. I mean, they were doing a little rough or whatever. But
That's
yeah,
a house you should not buy.
Yeah. Yeah. It ended up being a really nice house later.
Oh, I know. I saw the pictures. Put that wall back up, and then, yeah, I mean, it's a real. Okay, so
I
during
mean, it was
that
a
time, though,
$4,000 house.
you're trying to borrow money from banks and it wasn't working. Now, this is going to be a big perspective shift.
Yep. Yeah. So I was getting into house flipping, and I had been a contractor, a handyman for years, doing renovations for investors that were selling houses.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, you know what? I can do this better. They're asking me to do really crappy work when we were selling houses that were like $60,000 with people living in them. And so these people were coming from all on the other coast, like the West Coast, coming from other places. They didn't live here in Birmingham, and we felt like they weren't treating our neighbors and our people well because they were asking us to provide crappy houses. And so we started thinking we could do it better. And we were pretty naive. We knew the construction side, but we didn't know how to get money. You know, we thought like everybody else, I'll go to the bank and get a loan. And man, the banks weren't going to loan money like that.
Especially a
like,
$4,000 house,
crazy?
especially to a guy that was living in the Target parking lot just a few
guys
years
that
earlier.
Looked like us too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're like, we're not loaning you money, kid. So
And I think the partner, like, to put some perspective on it, I won't say his name. He can tell the story later. I think, and I'll get him on here because he would say the story. But the way I met him was I had custody of him.
Yes.
Because he was on early release coming to me. Like, I had signed on the dotted line, like, yes, I will help this guy.
Yeah. I'd known him from my high school days.
I know. I remember when he walked in the front door and you guys were like, oh, wow.
Hey!
Yeah.
Fresh out of prison.
Yeah. Not even out. He's on early release.
That's
He's
right.
still.
That's right. Yeah, he ended up becoming my business partner.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
So people are not going to give you guys.
They weren't going to give us money.
They're not going to give y'all money.
No. And so back then, you got to remember, this is 15 years ago, 14, 15 years ago.
I like seeing John's face on all this here in the studio. He's off mic today, but he's.
Yeah, that's awesome. We took these like binders and we took pictures of our work and stuck it in here. I mean, we were such novices. We had no idea what we were doing. We're like, we're just going to go ask everybody. Somebody's going to loan us money. Like, we had no idea. We had no roadmap. We weren't going off of anybody else's, like, we're going to follow this guy.
If they knew what it was going to turn into, they would have given you money.
Probably.
But they had no idea.
We were still fresh at it.
Yeah.
Right? And so, yeah, we went asking a lot of people. And I would be like, hey, do you know anybody that might be interested in loaning money to flip houses? And then we'd change it. Do you know anybody that would be interested partnering with me on flipping houses? Do you know anybody that would want to partner with me as a money partner flipping? So we kept messing with the words, trying to get people interested enough. And I talked to 60-something people.
Yeah, what I've got down in the notes here and what I think we put in your book was after about 30, you kept going back to people and going, hey, I'm not asking you again. You already said no.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
Give me some advice.
And then we started asking people after that, as soon as they would tell me, no, hey, look, I'm not trying to pressure you into changing your mind.
Yeah.
Tell me what I could do differently
to present this
to the next guy to make him say yes.
Okay, so you get down to, I've got, that was finally number 69.
Yeah.
Is the guy.
Dude, you talk about persistent.
Yeah, patient,
okay?
persistent. You weren't very patient, though.
Most people would have probably given up 30-something people ago.
Oh, they would know. Most people would have given up after 2 or 3.
I was so lucky to have a partner that saw things the same way I did. Like, both of us were like almost high-fiving when somebody would say no because we were like, the next one is the guy. It's the guy. It's the one. The next meeting is loaning us money. And it would just fire us up. Every no made us just go at it a little harder. Like, I'm so lucky I had a partner like that.
Yeah, for sure. So you're talking each other into the dream, not talking each other out of the dream, despite the fact that the dream seems to be delayed.
The no's fired us up, like almost put fuel in the motor.
All right, so tell me about going to eat lunch at the sandwich shop.
Yeah. So we were working, like doing some work for an investor at the time, and we went to a local sandwich shop. And we went in, ordered our food, and it was busy. It was right in the middle of the lunch rush, and the people behind us that ordered behind us got their food. The people behind them got their food, and we're like, "What the what? What the what? Womp womp." Yeah. So this guy comes out from behind the counter and he says, "Hey guys, look, I messed y'all's order up. If y'all will go sit down on that little table by the window, I'll make your lunch. It's on me. I'll bring it to you." So, we go and sit down. He brings us food on the tray, and I'll never forget. It was a Southwest chicken roll-up. My lucky sandwich, right? It was my lucky
Southwest chicken roll-up.
Southwest chicken roll-up.
Man, that sounds delicious right now.
Dude, yeah, it was great. So he brings the sandwich, and he says, "Hey, what do you guys do?" Whoa.
Oh, he just queued you up. Y'all been.
I mean, it's like throwing a
You
lob,
don't, yeah,
right?
you don't even have to go, hey, let me tell you what we do.
I've already pitched it 69 times, and I had it down. I gave him the real quick, the bam, real quick. And you could just see it wasn't like everybody else. He had this look, and he's like, man, that's interesting. And I was like, man, if you got 5 minutes, we'll tell you about it. He sits down at our table, and we just give him the best case.
Okay,
of
so
everything.
let's put it in perspective for the guy, gal listening. This is a guy at a sandwich shop, at a fast food sandwich shop.
Yeah,
Okay.
This isn't a Monopoly guy with just a 3-piece suit and carrying a suitcase full of money. That's not, he
Yeah.
was working at the sandwich shop. Turns out he owned the sandwich shop, but I mean, we didn't know.
Yeah, he had no idea.
And he says he's super interested. Can we show him some stuff? I'm like, absolutely, bro. Let's meet.
Some stuff. You have
Yeah.
at the
I had
time
one house.
stuff.
I had one stuff. I had one house. We get him out there. I can't remember if it was that afternoon or the next afternoon. It was very quick. We get him out there. And, I mean, as soon as he pulls up, we shake hands. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. He goes, very first thing out of his mouth, hey, guys, I got to go to the bathroom.
No problem.
No problem, man. Go to the bushes. There's a bunch of bushes. We haven't even cut the trees back there, up against the fence.
Because you don't have water or electricity on at this house at all.
No,
There's
still
nothing.
a $4,000 house.
Yeah, $4,000. Is the wall still up, or is that falling down
Wall
yet?
was up.
Okay.
Wall was up. So he's like, no, guys, I got to do
The deuce.
I got to go too. And so we're like, I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm like, oh my God, our best chance to loan somebody money. He's got to take a crap.
This is the
and
first guy that's
we don't
gotten
even have
to
water.
the property, right?
Yeah, first.
Okay.
I mean, our only opportunity in my head, and I'm going straight down, just negative. No, not my partner. Mm-mm. He goes, man, I got you. Don't worry about it. Runs and gets an empty 5-gallon bucket out of his van. And then he goes and gets a leaf bag, those big, tall, like whatever, black leaf bags. He pushes it down in this 5-gallon bucket and rolls over the edge, hands him a roll of toilet paper and says, look, this is what we call the construction toilet.
Construction toilet.
I'm going to do this in quotes because we didn't call this a construction toilet. He invented the construction toilet.
On the fly, in the moment.
Yeah. And so he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, look, man, just take this into a closet. Do what you got to do. But the only thing is you do your own walk of shame. And he's like, what are you talking about, walk of shame? And he's like, when you're done, you bag it up, you double tie it, you throw it in your pickup truck.
And you drive it off and throw it in a dumpster of your choosing.
Don't forget, this is a guy we're trying to borrow money from, right? So 5 minutes later, he comes out, walk of shame, tosses the bag in the back of his truck. We sit on the front porch, and he's laughing about it, and we're laughing about it. We haven't even made it inside to talk about plumbing and all this. He says, how can I help? How can I help? Right there.
Man, I talked about that question just like as a footnote a couple weeks ago in one of the episodes, that you need to know what you need. So when people say, what do you need or how can I help? You can tell them. Okay, so he says, how can I help?
We said, we need access to money. We'll pay you 10%. And I mean, I had the pitch down. It's been 14 years. I don't pitch that way anymore. But
yeah, but you've been through 68 reps.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I told him exactly what he could do for us, but I also told him what we could do for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I made sure he knew that immediately, and he liked us. He was investing in us. He wasn't investing in that $4,000 house.
Yeah.
One of the key takeaways was, and I tell people this all the time when I'm coaching them on going to find money, especially in flipping houses. It's just your regular Joes. Regular Joe is
That's
going
a perspective
to loan.
shift.
It's a huge perspective shift. It's not the bank. It's not this big 3-piece suit guy that you need to be scared of. It's the guys that own the sandwich shop. It's your cousin. It's somebody you're sitting next to in church.
Okay, so that guy, over time, how many deals do you think you've done with him? Because
14
years later.
A lot.
So you've made him a lot of money, and he's made you a lot of money.
We've both made a whole lot of money together.
Yeah.
And we laugh about it over lunch.
Back to the construction toilet.
Yeah.
It all started with so that's back to you got to have a process, but you need a perspective shift, and then you need the persistence to push through.
So that guy started loaning us money on that house, and he has been a consistent money lender in my house flipping business for 14 years. And things have changed, and the mortgages have changed, and the paperwork's changed, and the terms have changed, but the relationship changed because it just got better and better.
Yeah,
and better.
it's continued.
Yeah. Now, in the end, I'll tell you something funny. Like my process with him is I shoot him a text and says, it goes like this. Hey, I need $345,000 on Thursday and I'll put the address.
Yeah.
And he'll just shoot me a thumbs up emoji. That's it.
He shoots you a thumb?
A thumbs up emoji, and that just means he's gonna do it. Okay? I go and get the mortgage and the security stuff notarized at an attorney. I email it to him. I shoot him a text that just says paperwork in. He shoots me a thumb emoji.
Okay.
And then Wednesday or whatever the day is before the loan, for the closing, he shoots me a one-word text, funded. And I shoot him a thumb emoji.
Thumb back. You shoot him a picture of a Southwest chicken roll-up.
Now look, if you're getting into the house flipping business, if you're listening to this, it's not like that. That's a 14-year relationship.
Right. That's back to the patient persistence, though. You get a perspective shift, and then you just persist, and it gets better and better, and you work it out the long game over time.
100%. Yeah.
So that's it. Okay. Anything else you want to add to that? Because I'm about to land the plane on this whole thing.
Let's land it. Let me hear. I mean, we might do a touch and go.
And go, like a fake land?
If you start to land it and I have a good point, we might do a touch and go instead of land.
We were talking about that earlier. You walked off to the restroom, and John's like, hey, man, he didn't like to end a podcast, does he? It's like, no, I think he wants to keep on hanging out. Like, this is all right, so let's apply it to you.
Okay.
Meaning person listening, not to you, Rob,
Check.
to person listening. You've already applied it. So you got a goal, you got a dream. The big thing is, in the new year especially, this is when we're thinking about all of it. It's not going to be achieved based on the result of an idea. It will be achieved based on the result of the ideas that you implement. And so really step back. What is it that you want to walk towards? What's the perspective shift that you need? How do you step back and look at it from just a different vantage point and see things that you haven't seen? And maybe, there's this great video, Rob, you did this, where you said, experience is a good teacher, but it eats up one of your most valuable assets, your time. And so if you can learn from somebody else that's done it, if you can lean into somebody else that's walked it, man, you can pick up their experience. And so perspective shift, and then you figure out the steps and you persist patiently moving forward. When I read the Bible, it says that you're saved by grace. And God did it, Ephesians 2, 8 through 10, because he planned before time began the great works that you would walk in. And so my prayer as we sign off for you is that the Lord would bless you, he'd keep you, be gracious, shine favor on you, and may you see from the new perspective what you need to see. May you just see the steps that are ordered as you move forward from where you are to where you're designed to be. May you have the patience to persist and to move forward, but may you realize it doesn't depend upon you. You show up, but the grace that saves you empowers all of the connections, all of the resources, all of the steps. That's it.
Look, I know you said that was for the listener, but I claim that too. Thank you.
Yeah, touch and go. All right.